All three major indices popping after the Federal Reserve raising rates 1/4 of a basis point. But what really popped the markets was their forecast for just 2 more rate hikes this year. Joining me now is former Reagan economic policy advisor, Laffer Associates founder and chairman, Art Laffer. What a pleasure, as always, to talk to you, Art.
Thank you, David. It's lovely to be with you and Melissa.
Who would have guessed that Janet Yellen would have given President Donald Trump, who did a lot of bad talking about Janet Yellen, was on the campaign trail, a big gift in announcing that there would only be 2 more rate hikes this year?
It's amazing. And to think of it, David, he's just coming here to Nashville right now.
That's right.
So it's sort of the grand entree. It's the band playing. It's all of the wonderful
things. You must be in the front.
No,
I hope you're in the front row, if not on the dais.
Oh, I'm 76. I go home and have some soup and watch it on TV. but in all honesty, it's about time that rates were raised. It's about time that they got out of the market and let markets determine those rates, and you'll see this economy just go crazy. Well, and it is already going crazy. It's just wonderful.
Here is what Donald Trump, I don't know if we have the soundbite or if I have to read it. Okay, we have a soundbite of what Donald Trump said as recently as September 2016. Take a listen.
And believe me, we're in a bubble right now. And the only thing that looks good is the stock market. But if you raise interest rates even a little bit, that's going to come crashing down.
Now, is he going to have to eat his words? Because obviously he doesn't want the market to come down now. What do you think?
No, there's a fundamental change in what he said and now. He was elected president. He is the biggest, most bullish thing this market has ever seen and can well offset any rate increase that could be imagined
so we're finally
by Janet
getting,
Yellen.
Isn't it wonderful, Art, that we're finally getting to the point where the thing that really matters, incentives in the economy, as opposed to what the monetary policy was doing, matters more than anything else.
I agree with you totally. I think Janet Yellen and Ben Bernanke before her did an awful job running the Fed. I think the quantitative easing was wrong. But now they're coming back and eliminating all of that process, and I think that's just going to be wonderful. And I think the tax cuts that Trump is proposing, the deregulation, all of that, I think you're in for a very, very large rise in asset values and a huge economy go, too.
Speaking of all that, House Speaker Paul Ryan standing firm on the original timeline for tax reform in 2017 and citing Art Laffer as his reason.
We all know that we have to get tax reform if we want to get economic growth. If we want to get out of the slug that we're in with the lowest, smallest peacetime expansion since World War II, we must do tax reform. When you go back and read the books about Reagan, Art Laffer has told me this story a million times. Right. When you delay tax rate reductions for later, you're actually delaying economic growth. You're delaying decision making.
See, everyone knows you're right. Will they be able to do it, do you think?
I don't know. They've never have before, but I think there's a really good chance this time they will. They didn't do it with Harding and Coolidge. They didn't do it with Kennedy. They delayed it there. They delayed it with Reagan. But I think this time with Trump and Paul Ryan, they just might do it. If they did it in 2017, can you imagine the Republican landslide in 2018 in the Senate? We'd pick up 10, 12 seats in the Senate. I mean, it's just a huge, huge opportunity going forward. And prosperity is so wonderful.
They said that they want to get the health care bill done first. I want to get this right, because it would take away around $1 trillion from the Obamacare tax. Do you buy that reasoning? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, I think that, and I think the Obamacare repeal and replace was a fairly easy thing to do, and I think it really will be easy to do. No, it doesn't, because everyone's negotiating for their special little add-on and whatever it is. But once it comes time, I'm very confident that the Republicans will vote to get rid of the bill and pass this bill, Ryan-Trump bill.
So you still think that then they'll be able to move on to tax reform? Do you think that will be less of a fight, or will it look like this?
I think it'll be less of a fight. I mean, you know, the Obamacare stuff has been going on for so long and so contentious, and everyone having all sorts of policies, et cetera. But I don't know of one congressman or senator who is against cutting the corporate tax from 35% to 15% or maybe 20%.
Democrats.
I don't know of one congressman that doesn't want to cut the personal income tax rates either. So I think they've got a wide open path here to get quite a bit of conformity and uniformity in the vote.
Yeah. All right. Art Laffer, thank you.
And I hope that if they do it in 2017, Melissa, that will really accelerate the boom. I mean, it really will do a great job.
Hey, man, you're preaching to the choir. I'm right there.
Thank you,
I got
Melissa.
you.
Thanks,
I got
David.
you. I'm right there. Art, thank you.
By the way,